Hare Krishna. So welcome everyone to our show, and today Mother Gandhari will speak on a very interesting topic. She will tell us about practical application of the four main principles of Daiva Varnashram. And Mother Gandhari, could you kindly tell us what is Daiva Varnashram? Because there was so much misinterpretation, misconception about this. So could you kindly explain in simple words what is Daiva Varnashram?
See, Krishna personally has created Varnashram, Chatur Varna Maya system, Guna Karma Vibhagasa. So he's created these four divisions in society, which are natural. Somebody is more like a Brahminical, which is like a priest. Even in Western culture, any culture, he's a priestly person. Then there is a manager or a soldier or a president. He is considered a Kshatriya. Then there are farmers who till the land and they also do commerce. So they are called Vaishyas. And then there is a workforce which support all the three Varnas, right? Workforce, they, in Vedic terms, they're called Sudras, but they are very important part of a society. You see, the whole system is divided in a universal form, right? The head of the universal form, which is Lord Vishnu, Mahavishnu, is where the Brahmins come from, right? And Kshatriyas come from his arms, Vaishyas from his belly, and Sudras from his legs. So see how everything is organized according to Krishna's plan. And as time goes, it deteriorates. So Srila Prabhupada, by the instruction of his Guru Maharaj, who was requested by Bhaktivinoda Thakur, his own father, Bhaktivinoda Thakur, wanted to re-establish Daiva Varnashram. So what is the difference? There was a regular Varnashram before, where there was actually worship of Vishnu, but because it got polluted, there's no more Vishnu worship. But by Srila Prabhupada arrangement, he wants Daiva Varnashram means what? Means Krishna-centered. Because all the iskcon temples have Krishna in the middle, so all this Varnashram will be Krishna-centered. So in my seminar, I actually show you that it is already existing Daiva Varnashram in every iskcon center. Mm-hmm. But today, you ask me about the four practical application.
Yes, the four practical. So what is the first one?
Yes, so out of the four, the first one Srila Prabhupada wanted, I have the quotes, and we're going to put it in the video, of the first one is farm communities with cow economy. Mm-hmm. We cannot have Varnashram without cows, because cows, they actually give us so many beneficial foods, like milk and cheese and butter and ghee. We need ghee for yagyas, right? Mm-hmm. And bull is a symbol of dharma. So without cows, we cannot even have a civilization, right? So that's why we need to have farms. So in the farms, we have the bull and the cows. In fact, in iskcon, we already have more than 70 farms all over the world.
Oh, that's a massive number.
Well, not compared to how many centers. If we have so many centers around the world, like 900, we only have 70 or 90 centers. Mm-hmm. So that's not enough. I just heard from the Minister of Cow Protection, Kalakanta Prabhu, say that we need to catch up with the farm communities.
Absolutely.
Right? And your question would be then, what can we do when we live in the city?
That's true. How to do? Because, right now the modern life requires us to stay in the city because we have to have job, we have to be paid. So what can we do living in the city?
So there is something called transition period So while you're still in the city, we can start growing something in a balcony garden, kitchen garden, herb garden, container garden. In fact, in New York, there are people who have apartment garden. Can you imagine? In a small apartment, I've seen pictures full of plants. So we start with small, wherever you are, right? So apartment garden in China, they have rooftop garden.
That's
They even
amazing.
have
That's beautiful.
vertical garden, bus stop garden. Then in Spain, if you go, then the oranges are hitting your head. So they have food, whatever you call it, fruit lanes, food forest, edible hedges where all the hedges are made with raspberry or strawberry. So there's unlimited ideas, and we should start growing our own so we don't depend on the factories or artificial food or contaminated food. So this will be like a transition until we are able to move to the farm. So that's the first principle, with the cow economy. And regarding the cows, if you're living in the city, best thing is support a cow, adopt a cow. You see, there are so many ahimsa farms where they need support. So just by you supporting or adopting a cow, paying them monthly, you get so much benefit, and the farm gets benefit, right?
Right. And Mother, can we adopt a cow here in Mayapur?
Definitely, you go to the Goshala and just give your name and say, okay, I want to give you monthly this much, and I want to particularly adopt this cow. They do it so nicely in Bhaktivedanta manner. And also in Gita Nagari, they would do that. So there are many farms that are doing, which are in iskcon. But also, did you know something that in other karmi farms, which are not connected with iskcon, they have something called cow therapy.
Oh, I've heard something about that.
Yeah, so what they do is they have an open day where people can go and hug a cow.
Yeah, they can pet also, right, a cow.
So they feel so much happiness and bliss and satisfaction or calmness simply by touching and brushing and feeding and being with the cow. That's why it's called cow therapy. It's a very innocent, loving animal with emotions. So, so that's the first principle.
Oh, beautiful. And what about the second principle?
Well, second principle is already forming. It is called cottage industry. Srila Prabhupada wanted every farm to have cottage industry. So, according to my research and observation, you will see every iskcon temple, there is already devotees with talents. Somebody is Brahman, somebody is Kshatriya, somebody is Vaishya, doing business with whatever talent he has with his expertise. So then there are support workers. So we call them Sudra. But because we are all Vaishnava, it doesn't matter. It's only for material purposes that we have to have these divisions. So in every iskcon temple, there already is Daiva Varnashram. That's the first thing. There is already Varna and Ashram. It's called Daiva Varnashram because it's Krishna-centered and everybody is Vaishnava. So it's already there. Now, coming to the third principle.
Yeah, and what is the third principle?
Which is Srila Prabhupada wanted to divide the society into Varna and Ashram. So these two are interconnected. You see, a devotee is naturally doing the work that he likes to do. You cannot ask a gardener to do the work of a seamstress. And a seamstress cannot do gardening. So according to their nature, they're already engaged in the right occupation by their own choosing. So you see, that's how they're engaged, and that's what I'm trying to say, that the Varnashram is already there in every iskcon center. The divisions are already there by their own choosing. Nobody has to tell them that you become a Brahman. No. somebody who's expert, like we have a Prabhu, very expert Prabhu in Mayapur, he's doing yagya, right? He is from Indonesia, but he's doing yagya, and he's teaching so many classes, right? Like we have many people like this, teaching Bhakti Sastri, Bhakti Vaibhava. So those are Brahminical activities, right? So by nature, that is their inclination, right? So the society is already divided, and Srila Prabhupada wanted that. Only thing is we need to make a list in every center of who's doing which seva, right? So first comes from cottage industry, then you recognize the division.
Oh,
So
yes. So is it by our service that we are doing in the temple? So can we understand our varnashram?
our varna, you mean?
Avarna. Yeah.
Yeah, because it is natural, it's created by God. Your nature, you see, Chatur Varna Maya Sista Guna Karma. So according to guna and karma, you pick that particular seva, right? Somebody who's so expert in management, he doesn't like to go and do the gardening. Somebody who's so good in gardening, he cannot become a manager. So it's by your own nature. So the natural divisions are already there, and Srila Prabhupada wanted to divide the society in Varna and Ashram. All we have to do is make a note and see which Varnas we have and who is doing which service.
Oh, okay. It seems very logical. But then, Mother Gandhari, what to do? Sometimes it happens that people work, for example, in management, but they are extremely unhappy. They don't like the service they are doing.
So better to find the service that you like to do, right? Because Krishna has given it. Suppose somebody is a Brahminical, he likes to study. He can study and teach. And we find that a person who is so much into studying, Brahminical activities doing, nobody can stop him. He'll find time. And it is his nature, you see? So the more you do the work you like to do, then it will become natural, you see? So my point is that there is Daiva Varnashram already in iskcon, and the divisions are already there. And the fourth principle is to start a Varnashram college.
Oh, so that is the fourth principle, the college.
Srila Prabhupada wanted a Varnashram college at every iskcon center, right? So what does Varnashram college means? Means whatever activities the seniors are doing, you pass it on to the next generation in the form of a college, in a form of education institute, because iskcon is an education institute. So instead of only Brahminical activities like Bhakti Sastri, Bhakti Vaibhava, all those, we need to have more education systems with all the varnas, like cow protection, agriculture, weaving, other cottage industry, like, buttermilk or milk churning, all these things. We have to pass it to the next generation, and it will be called Varnashram College.
Oh, beautiful. That's so beautiful. And can we learn in Varnashram College also, like, for example, garland seva, how to make beautifully garlands?
Yes, all these activities would be there. But naturally, you can see, like garland seva has been going on since temple started 50 years ago or more, right? So how do the people learn? It's the next generation. The previous devotees, senior, they taught the next generation. See, now you will see none of the senior devotees are doing the garlands anymore because they're very senior, right? So they're teaching the techniques to the next generation. Similarly, that generation will teach the next one. You can see in Mayapur, we have this beautiful Julan Yatra ceremony, right?
Yes.
And it's managed by the youths or the young devotees. They completely manage the whole thing for a whole week.
Oh, that's so beautiful.
Isn't it?
Yes.
So this is what we have to do. Pass on the tradition to the next generation, either in a very technical way or unofficial way, then it will be more like a varnashram setting. And as simple as that, and Srila Prabhupada will be so happy to see that we already have Daiva Varnashram with these 4 principles already established in place.
Mother Gandharian, could you tell us in which countries already Varnashram colleges are existing?
My God, this is such a good question. So it's a very good question. I wanted to share that. Actually, there is a farm in Czech Republic which is called Krishna's Courtyard. But in their language, they call it Krishna Dwar. So if you look up Krishna Dwar or Czech farm, it's by Hare Krishna devotees. It's so amazing that they actually have 5 kind of grains that are growing. They have cows, they have bulls. So with these grains, they have big silos full of these grains. Then they even have 4 or 5 huge grinding mills. They call them mills.
That's beautiful.
So they're grinding their flour or their seeds into flours. So they have bags of flours. And in the side, they have a little factory where they're making all kind of snacks, like 40 to 50 different kind of snacks, cookies and chudi noodles and chidwa and varieties of snacks from these 5 kind of grains. So now what do? They're actually distributing or selling it in whole over the country because that country is small. So they sell it in health food store, grocery store. They also sell it in general store and then public fairs, markets. It's amazing. It was so nice to see. So they already have those things, right? And obviously, they didn't realize when I showed them that you have Daiva Varnashram right here because there are people with cottage industry and they're doing their work. But the main thing is even the children are involved in all this activity, which means
that's beautiful.
Which means they're learning from a very young age about how to take care of animals, how to grow food, right? Including the grains and vegetables. So that's an amazing example in a Czech Republic farm. And then, of course, we have one in Hungary. iskcon Hungary is called New Vraja. And it's like Vrindavan if you go there. They made a vow, the devotees over there, that they'll never buy anything from outside to make offering to the deities.
Oh,
So they only offer what they grow.
that's beautiful. That's amazing.
So they have varieties of fruits and vegetables. And if you want to have a pizza, my God, starting from the grains to the cheese to the peppers, everything grows right there. It's all local.
Beautiful.
Made from their own handmade clay oven. So everything is just local. So that's the farm in Hungary, in Europe. What to speak of the farms in India? Bhakti Vikas Maharaj has so many successful farms. One is in Nandagram, the other one is called Kurmaland. So there are 4 or 5 farms which Bhakti Vikas Maharaj is managing. I heard also he's starting one in Europe. Or in America, in Croatia, America. So, and Bhakti Raghu Maharaj has also many farms. One is in Indonesia. He started with 3 devotees. And now there are 300 devotees, including with the Gurukul.
Oh, that's
in Indonesia,
amazing.
Bali.
So beautiful.
And there's one in South India. So those devotees who are very serious, they're working on it. But we can get all the information from iskcon Daiva Varnashram ministry about how many farms there are, and also Ministry of Cow Protection of iskcon. So they have all the farms. So that was a very good question because I'm very attached to that farm in Czech Republic because I have personally been there. Of course, and there's one in Canada, which is the biggest one. maybe 3,000 acres of land, and there are devotees living there. They have their own land. Everybody grows their own vegetables, and they have their day school. So the children that grew up and graduated from that school, they went to university, college, and came back and bought land, and they're working there again as the next generation.
Oh, that sounds beautiful, really beautiful.
So that is in Canada, in Sharanagati. So yes, so there are some wonderful, great examples. So anyway, I hope you understand about these 4 principles by Srila Prabhupada, and we will put them down according to the quotes in our comment section.
Thank you so much for pointing out those 4 principles and explaining them. So right now, for me, like the picture is clearer. I've understood the concept, and I have a good feeling that Daiva Varnashram could be realized, and it's already there. We just need to work on the 4 principles, right?
It's already there.
It's already
Only
there.
thing is to recognize it.
Recognize it.
Yes. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Srila Prabhupada ki
Jai.